Welcome back, tool fans. Tonight, we've got new tool announcements from Flex, RIDGID, HILTI, and Milwaukee.
A circular saw like none ever before.
A heartfelt plea to the Ryobi haters.
The truth behind high output batteries and another Milwaukee Platinum Tool Deal.
Those stories and more coming up next on The Tool Show.
Welcome back to The Tool Show. I'm Sarah, that's Rob, and this is a very big week for new tool announcements. Last week, Flex released the first new products in their third wave, including a compact drill driver and impact, a deep cut bandsaw, and a new 4-port simultaneous charger. They continue their wave 3 with 4 more tools today, and we might have accidentally put a photo of one of them in last week's show.
And we would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids at Torque Test Channel.
This time we've got a brand new compact hammer drill to join last week's compact tools. The FX1231 half-inch 2-speed compact hammer drill boasts 650 cosmic inch-pounds of torque in an itty-bitty living space. It's now 9% more compact and 19% lighter than the FX1251. And of course, runtime is always important on the Flex tools, with this one claiming 85 5/16-inch holes in concrete with just a 2.5 amp hour battery. Next we have another compact tool, this time the Flex FX2331 2.5-inch compact bandsaw. This little fella is 27% more compact and 43% lighter than the 5-inch bandsaw Flex announced last week. The smaller version is perfect for tight spaces or for those one-handed cuts from a ladder.
OSHA enters the chat.
It still has a powerful brushless motor, variable speed trigger, quick release tool-free blade cover, LED light, and a welcome rafter hook. A more surprising announcement was the Flex FX4221 trim router. Now, don't get me wrong, I know several people who really want this tool. But I just wasn't expecting it so soon. Either way, it has a 1.5 max horsepower brushless motor, spindle lock, which is a shaft lock system for fast and easy bit changes, and prevents accidental startups. It has an accurate depth adjustment, a quick release edge guide, a variable speed dial that ranges from 15,000 to 31,000 RPM, and an impressive runtime of 275 feet on a 5 amp hour battery. But what about the tool we teased last week? Well, that is the FX1451 half-inch mid-torque impact wrench. It delivers 600 foot-pounds of fastening torque and 750 nut busting. It has a cool bolt auto-stop mode so you don't over-tighten, break, or strip lug nuts, and a bolt removal mode that stops the tool when it senses the lug nut is loose. It has vibration suppression, 3-speed modes, and a variable speed trigger. All 4 tools announced today will be available in April, with no prices available just yet. Now, Flex still isn't done. There are more tools that we can't talk about until next Friday, and you're not going to want to miss those, so be sure to subscribe.
A year ago at World of Concrete 2022, HILTI announced an entirely new line of cordless tools called Neuron, and it looks like this year they've got a bunch more to add to the group. We're less than a week away from World of Concrete 2023, and HILTI just announced 30 new tools for their Neuron battery platform, putting them over the 100 tool mark. Now, of the 30, over a dozen will be available to test at World of Concrete, and you can be sure that Sarah and I will be in line to try each one. So far, they've only revealed the new DSH 722 rear handle cordless cutoff saw, the NCV 1022 ultimate concrete vibrator, the NCV 422 pencil concrete vibrator, and the SB 622 wide mouth 5-inch bandsaw. All of these new tools will run on the 22-volt lithium-ion Neuron battery platform. Now, we got some details on the cutoff saw. It runs a 12-inch blade, giving it a generous 4 3/4-inch max cutting depth. They say it can cut up to 30% more with just 2 sets of B22-225 batteries than it can with 1 full tank of gas, thanks to a smarter, more efficient Neuron battery and optimized blades. It's perfect for ground-facing applications weighing in at only 19.4 pounds or 29.3 with batteries and a blade. When Sarah and I visit World of Concrete next week, we'll be spending plenty of time in the HILTI booth, and you can catch all of that action on next week's episode of The Tool Show.
Back in early December, Rob and I had a chance to visit the RIDGID headquarters in Elyria, Ohio, where we got a closer look at their new battery platform, learned how to repair pipes, and got some special beer.
Seriously.
So the beer is a real thing, and it's a part of their ongoing 100-year celebration. That's right, RIDGID invented the modern pipe wrench all the way back in 1923, the same year Harrison Ford rode into Yellowstone on horseback.
Reaching.
Today, RIDGID is celebrating 100 years of designing and building innovative tools trusted on job sites around the world and handed down from generation to generation. To celebrate properly, RIDGID will be holding giveaways of commemorative anniversary wrenches and other brand swag throughout the year. Early this year, they will also be launching this RIDGID Wrenched 100, a specialty beer developed in collaboration collaboration with Unplugged Brewing Company located less than a mile away from the RIDGID headquarters in Elyria. But Rob and I weren't there for their 100-year celebration. We were there to learn more about the all-new FXP battery platform. It was first revealed in an Instagram post a few months ago, focused on their first FXP tool, the 760 FXP Power Drive Threader. That thing is a beast, providing up to 32-inch threads in a single charge. It has anti-kickback tech, super cool LED workspace lights, and even an LED alert when the thread is nearing completion. It's compatible with the existing RIDGID die heads and the 258 and 258 LX pipe cutters. The threader was very impressive in person and easily did a very difficult job. But when we pressed for information on additional tools coming to the FXP battery platform, we were just met with knowing smirks, which is pretty standard in the industry. I'm looking at you, Turoff.
True story.
But the RIDGID folks did tell me this. We are planning to release FXP products across the mechanical and plumbing product lines over the course of the next several months and years. So we're pretty excited about that. We also got a first-class lesson in their full range of press tool options, which will be in their own video soon here on Belts and Boxes.
Milwaukee had several new announcements of their own this week, starting with a brilliant new pack-out floodlight on the M12 platform. That is the Milwaukee M12 pack-out floodlight with USB charging. Now, unlike its predecessor, this one is much smaller, but still packed with many of the features that we love, starting with its top stack pack-out compatibility, so you can easily and securely bring this with you everywhere you take your tools. They claim it delivers 1400 lumens of their True View high-definition color and features 3 different modes, all through a light head that rotates 300 degrees horizontally and 180 vertically. It also features a 2.1 amp USB-A and USB-C ports to charge all your devices, 2 storage compartments to organize small items. When paired with the M12 XC 4 amp hour battery, the light provides up to 12 hours of runtime. Now, the new M12 pack-out floodlight will be available in February for $129. Milwaukee also announced a new 4-in-1 precision multi-bit screwdriver. Yes, please.
You do not need any
And don't finish that. Yes, I do. It has a comfortable non-slip grip and a 360-degree rotating back cap. It'll be available this winter for $12.99.
At least that one's not $80.
And finally, a new 12-foot telescoping laser pole, making it easy to get your laser level just where you need it. That too will arrive in February for $149.
We refer to our channel members as the production crew. Each month we go live here on YouTube, randomly pull a crew member's name, call them live, and then let them pick one of our 4 shelves loaded with over $2,000 worth of power tools. Now, like we mentioned last week, this year is gonna be a little bit different. You will still get to choose from one of 4 shelves, but you won't know what's on them. We're keeping them covered and revealing them live with you. Now, if you happen to win a shelf filled with Pro Tools, what good are they without Pro accessories, am I right? Each shelf is not only loaded with Pro Tools, but each one is loaded with a full collection of Spyder accessories. While our next live giveaway event is February 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I can't wait that long. So today, I asked our friends at Spyder if we could give away a collection of their Pro accessories to one of you.
So what do they say?
They said yes! So if you would like to win this stack of saw blades, mock blue driver, and drill bits, and a huge collection of spattle bits, and a whole saw kit, just leave a comment below telling us which Pro brand tool you would use these Pro accessories on.
Let's move on to some power tool content you shouldn't miss, starting with our buddy Mark Thomas, who got his hands on the Flex 24-volt inline circular saw, easily the most unique circular saw you're ever likely to see, and he can tell you why. That is the Flex 6.5-inch inline circular saw, and it's the inline part that immediately makes this saw stand out. By moving the motor, battery, and blade all in line with each other, you're left with a 6.5-inch saw that has the depth of cut of a 7.25-inch saw, and the unique ability to saw comfortably in either direction. Mark walks us through every detail and feature of the saw, highlights what comes in the kit, and then starts running it through some tests. He tested with some cross cuts and 2x6s, plunge and rip cuts in OSB, and even though he probably had one too many cups of coffee before his unguided rip cut, the saw still smoothly worked its way through the material, leaving behind a crispy straight line. So after using the saw for a month, he seems pretty happy with it, saying,
"There's really not too much I could say that they would need to do to improve it if they ever came out with a Gen 2 version."
Mark also showed off Milwaukee's 6-battery port pack-out compatible rapid charger. If your job requires a ton of Milwaukee batteries, this may be the charger and carrier for you. To find out everything you need to know about both the rapid charger and the Flex inline circular saw, head over to Mark Thomas Builder.
If you've ever watched a Project Farm tool review, you know Todd is obsessed with testing the claims of power tool manufacturers. So when they started releasing high output versions of their batteries and making some pretty insane claims, naturally, he was going to test that. Specifically, he gathered high output batteries from Cobalt, Ryobi, RIDGID, and Milwaukee and proceeded to put them through testing hell like only he can. He hooked up a myriad of testing gear and then ran the batteries on high drain power tools like chainsaws, circular saws, shop vacs, and leaf blowers. So did the high output batteries deliver on the promises of their marketing departments? Well, only Todd has the answers, and you can find them at Project Farm.
I've never wanted to own a plate compactor, but thanks to Machinery Nation, I do now. This has got to stop eventually, right?
Bet.
The boys were wondering, is it necessary to break the bank on a plate compactor, or could you possibly save a few bucks and go with a budget-friendly version without sacrificing performance? Now to find out, James grabbed examples from Hyundai, Lumag, and Wacker-Neuson and headed out to the unfinished building out back to start smoothing out the gravel floor. He divided the ground into 3 sections and made multiple passes with each one. They all managed to get the job done, but as James puts it, it boils down to build quality, longevity, and price. Personally, I think that means I can save some money if I just promise not to use it. To find out which one is right for you, head over to Machinery Nation.
Mike from Projects for All also was pondering many questions this week, like, can you really get a pro table saw on a budget? Good question, Mike. To answer that, he decided to give the Skil TS6307 table saw a try. It comes pretty much assembled right out of the box with a few minor exceptions. But once it was together, Mike dug into the features to see what $350 can get you. He said the assembly was a breeze. He likes the push stick location, making it easy to grab when you need it most. The measuring gauges for the fence, miter gauge, and blade angle were really easy to see. He loved the onboard accessory storage and the dust port too. His list of dislikes are minor. The fence wasn't perfectly square upon delivery, and it sits pretty short for a 6'1" guy, but that's about it. Mike does such a thorough job reviewing the saw, and in the end, he once again asks himself, is it possible to get a pro-level saw on a budget? Well, for the answer, you'll need to head over to Projects for All.
Ryobi, the tool brand that doesn't care if you love or hate them, they just love to make great tools. Matt, on the other hand, does care and decided to address it this week. After asking his own viewers which tool brand they hate the most, Matt wanted to take a deeper look at Ryobi, its fans, and its haters, and the resulting video is remarkably informative. Before diving into the why, he focuses on the what with a thorough history lesson on the brand and highlights several really interesting facts, like, did you know that the Ryobi battery platform has remained backwards compatible all the way to 1996?
That was like 5.
Yeah, shut up. Matt makes a pretty good case for Ryobi haters to maybe just give the big yellow brand a shot.
It's green.
No matter if you love or hate them, you should head over to 731 Woodworks and at least join the conversation.
Our last stop before our Platinum Tool Deal is on a new YouTube channel called Worst Workshop. That is David and his daughter Little Bit. And holy crap is she cute. David has been working on his new YouTube channel documenting his attempt to take the Worst Workshop on YouTube and make it better. But this week he took a break from the cleanup and brought Little Bit into the shop to show off her new toolkit. That's a $29 Hyper Tough toolkit from Walmart. And even Dave points out that the tools you find on budget kits like this one are typically really small. You can't include a proper hammer in a kit for only $29, so you get an itty bitty one. Which got Dave thinking, this kit might not be for adults, but what about little kiddos like Little Bit? So she got one for Christmas, and in the video he shared this week, he pulls out each tool one at a time, lets Little Bit guess what it's called, what it's for, and then walks her through each tool and its uses. Now, I've never considered buying one of these before, but I love the idea of using a cheap set of tools to get kids interested in DIY or in the trades. The rest of David's videos are great and he could really use your sub. So when you're done here, head over to Worst Workshop on YouTube.
All right, it's time again for our Platinum Tool Deal. Sarah, what do you got?
It's cold outside.
It definitely is.
So this week, OPT wants you to warm up in some stylish yet functional Milwaukee gear. Our code this week will give you $50 off a purchase of $100 or more of any in-stock Milwaukee gear.
Now remember guys, these Platinum Tool Deals are way too good to be offered to everyone. So you can only get them here on the Tool Show, and each one will only work for 25 people, then it automatically retires, so move fast.
The code this week is BABERT. Now get on over to ohiopowertool.com as fast as you can if you want to be one of the 25 people to save 50% on Milwaukee gear.
Oh, and what was this thing about Joe?
Joe Coopson, I hope you like your Keens.
And that's the Tool Show.
I want to thank Flex and Spyder for continuing to support our show and our community of tool fans. We could not do this without you.
All right, guys, if you can, do something kind for someone else this weekend, and we'll see you next week at the World of Concrete.
Bye.